Welcome back, everyone, to Undefined Behaviour, a showcase and speedrunning marathon centered around queering games and queerness in games. I'm Scala Kitty. I am your current host for the next couple of runs. Right now, we are going to have Tetraly, who's going to be playing Legend of Zelda Prototype any percent. And because y'all are amazing and wonderfully generous, we're also going to be having that second quest afterwards. By the way, I'm going to let Tetra tell you a little bit more about this game.
Thanks so much, Scala. So we're going to be starting with the first quest, and then we will get to that. Thank you to everyone, including all the anonymous donators who made that possible. I am joined on commentary by Unos.
Oh, hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Unos is one of the experts in the community on this prototype, so he will have a lot of info about how it's different from the final version. And I think with that, we're ready for a countdown, Scala?
Sure thing. So let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
We got a little bit of loading time before we can actually go. So we start off most Zelda runs by picking up the wood sword from the old man here. And the route I'm going to be taking, at least for the first minute, is very similar to a final Zelda 2 first run. But there's a lot of important differences between this and the final version, which I'll let Unos talk about a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But let's see. Are we gonna see screen scrolls on the way to 2, or we pass on that for now?
I'm gonna walk it because it seems like whenever I scroll to 2, it always takes me much longer and I lose time rather than save time. But if I was really on point with screen scrolls, I would do those.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to 2 first. Level 2 is a nice, generous level.
And I actually call my split for this just a minute because it takes almost exactly a minute to the second to walk to level 2.
Yeah, that's right. That's something with one of the tournaments, we actually really put a lot of time in on determining how long it took and how much you can save with screen scrolling. Like, you can save up to 10 seconds. Well, some can, but a lot of people end up losing time. So one difference here I forgot about until just now is that the ropes, the snakes, they don't charge the same. They charge randomly. In the final version, when they get on your line, they will actually charge you. Moldorm's a bit different too, isn't it?
Yeah, they only take 1 HP as opposed to 2 HP in the final version. And if this rope will cooperate, there you go. Another thing I forgot about is the way counting works is a little bit different. In the final version, you probably know the 10th enemy has the bomb clue, which basically if you kill 10 enemies in a row and the 10th one with a bomb, you force a bomb drop. In the prototype, it's actually 6, not 10.
Yeah, I saw you bombed after the 9th and 10th segments of the Moldorm,
Yeah.
and I thought,
yeah, whoops.
It's like I forgot too. I mean, it's just second nature to when you're used to playing the regular game, the final version. And right there at the end, that the boss was Dodongo, who you smoked Dodongo and then stabbed for the kill, but in the final version they coded in a mechanic that causes a bomb to be forced to drop, and that doesn't happen in this version. Which is it's really nice, and when you're speedrunning and you're trying to get bombs, have that mechanic.
Other bugs that were fixed in the final version, like you may have noticed when I bombed open that cave to get the heart container, the smoke lingered on the screen as I was walking into it.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, just little things like that. Lionel Richie here, who loves to get in your way, actually does only 1 heart of damage as opposed to 2. And here at the White Sword, I'm going to up A. However, you notice that I am purposely waiting and pausing a little bit before doing that. And Eunice, if you could explain that while I'm focusing on screen scrolls, that would be fabulous.
All right. Yeah. Something that I discovered because I didn't know anything about this is that when you up an A during any hoist animation, like the way it works is the game is coded so that Link stands there, he loses his ability to move. You up an A, he never regains it. He's just you soft block. I think you have to save and like restart the game. So you can't up an A during a hoist, which is one of the big time saves when you're doing up and A runs.
And just to clarify what no up and A means, it basically, if you hit start and then press the up and A keys on the second controller, it does a death warp essentially.
Yeah, you bring up the game over screen, lets you continue or save, or the completely pointless feature to retry, which would be the same as hitting the reset button on your console. Some of these rooms are a little different. The Tetra got a bomb for killing 3 bats. In the final version, that's the notorious 3 Dark Nut reset room for 3 first runs. This room got, with the 3 Dark Nuts, now it has 5 in the final version. And this room has 8, and it lags like crazy.
Imagine how much speedrunners would love it if you could just walk right in, kill 4 keys, and always get a bomb drop.
That would be terrific. Speaking of that, actually, in the 2015 tournament, the first Zelda won any percent, no up and A tournament, there were a lot of route ideas for race safety. And one of them was actually the route that you took to go around the top, or some variant of it. It was when I finally played this version in 2016 that I started putting that top route into any percent runs. And now the top route is a very common approach to any level category that goes through level 3. But it was this version that got me to finally do it. Oh, did you accidentally use a key on the bottom door there?
So I will have to pick up. That's okay. I know where I can pick up an extra one.
Excellent.
But I'm just happy that I killed Manhandla the first time without incident, because that is a major reset point for those who don't know in Zelda runs, both 2 first and 3 first.
So you didn't get a bomb drop off Manhandla, right?
I did not. So I have no idea what my count is actually.
Well, does it have to be 5 since it's a 6 count?
Oh, actually, that might be true. I didn't really think that through. I should trust the buyers, basically.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, if you can't trust the buyers, who can you trust in this game? That's sarcasm.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Good call, Eunice. I'm really glad I had you on commentary.
It's really fun. I haven't played this version in a while, so it's a lot of fun to just experience how great it is to have 6 counts. And
oh yeah, it is.
Right here, Tetra's lining up to a block clip on a block that we cannot see. So that was actually one of the coolest things when I first started watching speedruns of this game, is watching Darkwing do that clip in the dark, and I was so impressed.
Oh yeah, that was actually a clip through an invisible block that you couldn't see.
Yep.
So it's more impressive than it looks, actually.
Yeah, that room is has a bunch of diagonal lines in it.
I goofed that one up. My bad.
Oh, this room.
There you go.
I think that was still better than it was in my 100% world record. That is still only 2 seconds behind world record.
Well, that's a pretty low bar, isn't it? But that's okay. All right, so
no,
take I'll take a bop later. That's fine. When you want a bubble to hit you, it just doesn't.
You know that there have to be people out there who very much believe that those things read your inputs based on not being able to get them to hit you when you want.
Not surprise me one bit.
Now, this room is still the same room, right? So it's the ladder clip.
Although, I think my count is 5 now. The gels there, you notice they're a little bit more visible. They changed the palette of those in the final version, I believe.
Yeah, I guess so. Because they're just like, there's like one speck of light color on them. And the rest of it's black.
And now for Gleok, which is a little bit different in the original.
Yeah, this is funny. We will miss out on something else about it, which I'll talk about afterward. But Gleok, in the final version, cannot have 2 fireballs on the screen at a time. And one of the reasons to go level 2 first and then get the white sword is so that when you get here to level 4, instead of having like 4 hearts and the wood sword, you come in here and you just beat Gleok up very easily. It's 16 hits with the wood sword and with 2 fireballs coming out, and they can come out anytime, basically. It's pretty difficult. What we don't have, unfortunately, are the FDS sound effects, because Tetra's playing on an EverDrive with an American NES, like a front loader or whatever. You have to mod it with a resistor in order to get the Famicom sound, but there are horrible sounds. Horrible FDS sounds, and they're in the final FDS Japanese original release too. But Gleok makes some incredible noises that would have just pleased the audience, I'm sure.
Figured we would save everybody this. So in the final version, when you enter level 1, you often see folks exit and then come back in order to save a key. Because the loading time is so great, we wouldn't want to do that in here. So instead, I went to the right and did what I like to call the yoink key instead, because you just sort of run right into the Stalfos and yoink the key right away.
The Stalfos look a little bit different. Their feet are kind of big. It almost looks like they're holding their feet a little bit. But yeah, so...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Somebody in chat was saying that the sounds are a little bit different, and that is partially also because some of the FDS sound channels are used for like when Link takes a hit and part of the rupee pickup sound, I think.
Upping. I actually, when practicing this, I soft locked the game by not waiting long enough, so I'm going to be very, very careful not to make that mistake during the actual run.
There's another trick. When you pick up an item, not the swords, but the basement items, for example, there's one frame where you have the item, but you haven't started the hoist animation yet. If you're able to press start and pull up the menu on the frame before you hoist it, you get the item and you can up A and you keep control. So it would be possible to save time by going for a frame perfect start press. But if you don't get it, you either soft lock if you up A, or you lose all that time from closing the menu and reopening it.
Yeah, definitely not a good no reset strat.
No. I haven't done this run in a long time, but if I did come back to it, I think I would try to practice like doing a visual lineup similar to when you set up a screen scroll in the overworld, and press like left and start like in a sequential frame order, so that would to set that up, that small time save.
But it would only be about a second or less, so it'd be pretty risky.
Yeah, it would be for laughs partially. This is a cool route. Since there's a big difference between this and the final version, and that is that the magical sword, the white sword that we already picked up, it took 5 hearts to get. That's why Tetra picked up, the heart after level 2 from that cave. That Armos takes a lot longer to wake up in this version. It's a bit weird.
And this route is substantially different because we're actually going to pick up the magical sword and then go right into level 6. Normally you would do 5 and 7 beforehand.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little bit different. And most of the reason behind that is that the magical sword only takes 8 heart containers instead of 12 in the final version. And that means that we can get to it a lot quicker.
That's there?
Yeah, that's actually only in the second quest in the final version.
I was like, she's going to the second quest heart. What's there? Is that where the sword is? Did I forget? Okay.
No, just
yeah.
picking
So
up a potion for marathon safety. That's
nice. I did not know about that one either. Yeah. So the magic sword only takes 8 hearts to get, and when we talk about trying to speed up the game, like the speed runs, getting rid of like the magical sword is something that keeps getting thrown around sometimes, but it's extremely difficult to beat this game without the magical sword and go fast while doing it. But this is great.
Fortunately, those red wizards did not cooperate with bombs, but luckily you can actually just walk through what would normally be the belfry room in the final version. And then this is what would be called Magical Breakfast Room 1 and you just walk right through. Use a key, but well worth it. Oh,
nice.
Ooh, I want those bombs, but I'm not going to risk it.
Still 5 fires in that room. All the 5ers. One of those is a force, I'm sure, and the others a 5er in the random drop group that was taken out from the bomb dropping group for the final version. There's a bunch of random 5 rupees as well. The completely different rupee opportunities in this version of the game is part of what has influenced routing the final version. Ideas that came from it. I don't know if the blue wizards are going faster. They might have a different initial timer on their diagonal move or something. But they also take fewer hits, right?
Yeah, they have 8 HP instead of 9 HP, which actually is a big deal when you have the magical sword, because it's the difference between 2 strokes and 3 strokes of your sword.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference. I think that Goma shot, I'm not 100% sure if that would have connected in the final version.
Maybe not. I was just going to sort of let that slide and not bring it to everyone's attention that I nearly missed it, but that's okay.
I didn't mean to.
By the way, while you're doing the walk to the next dungeon, can I just do a very quick update for folks?
Absolutely.
Cool. So, y'all, here's the thing. Earlier, y'all were absolutely amazing in getting us that second quest incentive met, which I am still just blown out of the water of how well this marathon is doing. However, we do have a run later on this evening. We actually have 2 runs left that still need incentives to be met. The first one up is Life is Strange, to do a I can talk. That's why they asked me to be here. To do a Life is Strange glitch exhibition. So that's going to be later on this evening, and that only has $25 out of the 400 we need to unlock it. So if y'all would like to donate for that, I will drop that donate link there in chat, and just be sure when you donate to the Trevor Project that you are sure to select the Life is Strange glitch exhibition. I can get there. When you donate. Also, additionally, we also have for the game Watam, we also have an additional incentive to meet the prince. That is sitting at $50 out of 400, but that has a bit longer to go. So do be sure to donate to either of those games that look whichever one looks more interesting for you. Yes, a lich exhibition, sure. I mean, everything we're doing here is a Twitch exhibition.
Are the Blue Darkness moving faster, or am I just out of practice?
Okay, wait for the animation to stop. Up A. Okay. All right, that's the last one I have to worry about. So didn't soft block the run. Yay!
The huge focus on that. Just it's a serious time. Everybody, be quiet for a moment. I need to not press up A.
Because if you had done what you would normally do in any other Zelda run, you would have soft locked. So
yeah. You could have at least up an A. You can up an A and save still, right? Can you at least do that?
No, you can up an A and save, but then when you try to resume the game, you're not able to even resume it. So
the file's in a permanent lock.
Yeah, or at least on my EverDrive in particular, that's what happened. So
Maybe
I wasn't about to. Come on, really? I'm talking to Darknut, not you.
A couple things when we came into the dungeon. If you're used to seeing these runs, the player will often enter through a secret entrance underneath an Armos, which doesn't do anything except save a little bit of animation time. But because in this version, the Armos takes like twice as long to wake up, you don't save time anymore. Though Pole's voice looked different.
Like with the Japanese version, you can't actually harm them with an arrow. It's only in the US versions that works. And it has to do with the microphone on the Japanese version, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, because the original Famicom has the wired in, like the controllers are wired into the inside of the system, and the second controller has a microphone on it instead of a start button. Yeah, the recorder music will not come through because it would be on an FDS sound channel. If it's even coded, that's. But yeah, the FDS sound channel handles some of the audio that we're not hearing. But also, I don't even think we mentioned that the dungeon music is all the level 9 music from the final version.
Yeah, many people love the level 9 music more than any other track in the game. So if you enjoy that, this is the version of Z1 for you. So up here is actually one of the few rooms that has more enemies in this version than the final one. See how many Gurias are in here?
Oh yeah. Room's loaded. But this room's exactly the same.
Pretty much, although when you have the magical sword, it makes it go a lot quicker.
Oh, and the magical sword in the level 5 in the recorder room was just beautiful. No fireball statues with the dig dogger. How lovely
Barry,
is
yes,
that?
please. Come back. Thank you.
Oh. No key door into the... Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
This is
the room with those 5 Stalfoses is where the Hungry Guria is in the final version, but it wasn't actually coded yet, so instead you get a nice bomb drop here.
Yep, and you don't need meat for the run.
And that also changes the routing considerably. What I do need to make sure to pick up, otherwise level 8 isn't going to happen, is the red candle here. The good news is that in the final version, picking up the red candle, I call it the spawn messer-upper because it makes the spawn pattern in a wallmaster room much harder to deal with. Fortunately, that really isn't too much of an issue with this version, as we'll see shortly.
So I noticed that you were... the only thing you had to buy is the arrows for 80, which means that you didn't pick up any secrets, right? Any money secrets?
No, I did not.
So you've picked up 117 rupees. This room's different. 117 rupees just from drops and a little bit on the floor, maybe, if that's even there in level 4. Oh.
Then also the reverse C room is now a diamond staircase, so you can use a block clip trick to just walk right in as opposed to having to actually fight them.
Another one of these 8 Guerrilla rooms. But still Aquametis, the ironic boss of level 7.
And that's level 7. Going over to level 8 would also be a good time for any donations or announcements that you have, Scala.
Let's see. I will double check. I will refresh. Making sure. No, I have not had any more donations come in, which hopefully that will change soon. But you know what? Let's talk very quickly about the charity we're raising money for. So for this event, we're raising funds for the Trevor Project, which is an American nonprofit organization that focuses on suicide prevention efforts amongst lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning people under 25 years old. It operates the Trevor Lifeline, which is a confidential service that offers trained counselors through a toll-free phone number. The Trevor Project is committed to producing research that brings new knowledge and clinical implications to the field of suicidology, and also advocates for laws and policies that will reduce suicide amongst LGBTQ plus young people. So we're really delighted to support this invaluable and life-affirming organization. If you would like to donate, I will go ahead and drop that link in chat. And remember that you can put your donations to the 2 incentives we have left to meet tonight for the, I'm going to get it right this time, for the Glitch exhibition in Life is Strange and to meet the prince in Watam. I think that runner is, Sexrex is here in chat. I have a question. How cute is this prince? I need to know for science. Why are you all bullying me in chat? I'm trying very hard to say the words glitch exhibition. It's the prince from Katamari Damacy? Yes, so yes, a 15 out of 10 cutie. Absolutely. Also donate for that. I'll leave it back to y'all and Zelda.
So I took a little bit of a detour there to get an extra bomb drop. I actually forgot exactly how many bombs is the minimum number I need for level 9, so we're going to do it on the safe side here.
How's your key count? Is it okay at 0 right now?
I think so. Because you can pick up the second one in level 9.
Okay.
Is that right?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, because you don't have to do the one above Patra 1. That's why it's different.
Okay. So that's it. We're off to level 9.
We've assembled the entire Triforce, and now we're going to be going to level 9, the birthplace of the level 9 music that we've been hearing all throughout this run.
Yeah, the very ominous music.
Rare to be having 58 rupees at this point in the run without going to a single secret, so yeah.
This version is great. They were talking about Pole's voice looking different, and they're missing some of that outline that helps contrast them from backgrounds, and Zol's are also missing that.
Yeah, the Guineas were also slightly different sprite-wise as well, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. They have like little ghostly, like they don't have feet, but they've got like 2 little tails instead of just like 1.
So we'll get the key in this room.
Oh, again, the Zols are on a different palette. They're on the gray instead of black for their main
blue
body.
Landmill is in the diamond staircase room here as opposed to red ones. So a little bit more of a challenge, even though we can bypass it by block clipping.
Yeah, that could get out of hand quickly.
Well, not as much as the Wall Masters. Speaking of hands. Haha. So something that's even better about this than that bad pun is that you can actually bomb straight right up into this room here, as opposed to having to go through a Patra. Let's take that for safety. And then normally you would be going the exact opposite way here. This is the elder who says, go to the next room, except what he meant in this version is actually walk through the wall to this next room, which is where you find the silver arrows, even though this is where the red ring is in the final version. So they did a lot of redecorating and rearranging of level 9 between this and the final version.
It's really interesting to think about how much they continued to work on the game after what. I mean, this would have been releasable for the most part, besides the softlock bug. I don't think there's anything else about it that really makes it a bad. It would have made it like an secure release or whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Okay, if I kept track of my count, I would have forced here, but no worries. The nice thing is that here you would normally have to deal with this Patra. Okay, this one is not cooperating, so I'm going to actually show there's a glitch in this version where if you kill one of the little mini Patras, exit the room and back in, look what happens. Bye-bye, Patra. So if you don't get one cooperating, you can just do a little pirouette in and out, and no more Patra. I love it.
That's another interesting one. In the final version, if there are two Moldorms or two land molos and you fully clear one of them and then re-enter the room, it will make the other disappear and it won't respawn. But Patra, you had only killing the final body caused it to go away finally. But apparently in this version, the orbitals are coded similarly to the way that the land molos and the Moldorm still ended up coded in the final version, I guess.
Significantly easier because you come up on the left side of the screen as opposed to the right side in the final version.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's just lovely.
Ugh.
Nice bubble spawn though. Do a potion clip.
No. I don't even know how that would work buffer-wise, but probably would. So let's see if I can... Now, the hard part about this Patra is just getting back to the stairs so that I can despawn it. Because you take one of them out, and bye-bye, Patra. Like Ganon spawning over on the right side. Time is going to be coming up when I rescue the princess in the room above this one with Ganon.
Ganon's got a little bit less fanfare to start the fight. Kind of just goes, I'm here. All right, let's go.
Use my potion for safety because when I was down below 4 hearts remaining, I could have gotten one-shotted, so... But here is the princess, and that will be time.
Very nice. You finished with 80 rupees.
Isn't that wild?
I forgot about beep when you finished the game. They could have left that in the final version. I wouldn't have known.
I think I was getting a health refill or something.
Really?
I don't know.
Funny.
I like how the dungeon music has carried over to the credits.
Yes. Even in the final FDS release, the original Japanese release, the credits start to roll a lot faster than they do in the US version. But yeah, the music just continues to play. So great.
Alright, so I'm going to press start here. This makes it seem like it freezes up, but this is fine, don't worry.
More great sound effects. I love it.
Much beep, very wow.
Yeah, well, because we're so far ahead of schedule, we actually are going to do second quest.
Well, we're going to
Yeah,
do second quest because y'all paid for second quest.
Yes, and believe me, I will be giving you your money's worth, at least as much as the developers of the game had programmed at the time. So, probably should explain that at this stage of writing of the prototype, the second quest was basically just, fleshed out in terms of dungeon layout, but no enemies or anything. So this makes it significantly easier to just take care of. So,
Very quickly, Tetra, do we want to be running a timer for second quest?
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll be sure that we'll go ahead. We'll get that timer going. Do you want me to give you the countdown?
Sure, go ahead.
Cool. So let's get this second quest going in 3, 2, 1, go.
Boop.
Boop.
So I'm going to be picking up a sword here. I'm probably not going to have to use it though. And I'm going to do my best, even though I can't guarantee it, to try to do a pacifist run, no killing enemies, the entire way. Well, I don't guarantee it because there's a part where I could accidentally kill a lever or something. But we start by basically just walking into what you think is level 1. But in the second quest at this point, it's actually what turned out to be level 3 in the final version. They changed the palettes and stuff like that, but you can just walk right up here, pick up a bomb. We'll up A just to save a little bit of time getting back to the start of the dungeon. But now that we have bombs, we pretty much have all the equipment we need for the end of the game, and we're in go mode. Funny how that works.
This is a great seed. One of those jet seeds that I keep hearing about.
Now you do have to know how to screen scroll because we don't have the ladder at this point. Oops. Okay, Zola's going to be trolly, of course. But nothing that a simple screen scroll around the screen can't fix.
We didn't really talk much about the screen scroll, but you have to stand on a very certain pixel after a 2 pixel per frame movement. Hit a button, hit your D-pad like for 1 frame only in a perpendicular direction, and then you can walk through the edge of the screen.
Okay, so we're in quote-unquote level 1, which is actually level 9.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly why it doesn't say level 9, but not complaining.
Yeah, I actually, that's really, I don't know. That's interesting though. It doesn't have the Texans say level. Huh. It's the level is just an 8x8, like empty grid at this point. Just repeating these same rooms mostly.
Oh, by the way, time.
Oh,
GG!
Well done.
Pacifist run complete. I think didn't get the lever.
Yep, I didn't kill the lever bombing my way into level 9. Yeah, I hope you weren't expecting a longer second quest run, but that is all the second quest had to offer at this stage of development. So that's what you get. Thank you so much again to everyone who donated to make this possible.
Actually, while y'all were doing that, we did have a few donations come in. We had $20 from Pronzo, who says, "Go get some bacon, Tetra," and thanks to Unos for comms. So thank you all very much. We also did get $10 in from Sex Rex, who says, "This donation isn't quite going to a new Nintendo Direct because that would be a Switch exhibition." And that's for the Life is Strange glitch exhibition. Now, I know we're a little ahead of schedule, but I think there might be something special coming up. A surprise.
A little surprise.
I'm so excited for this
All
surprise.
kitties. I will be, I'm not exactly sure how logistically it's going to work, but I'm going to be soon switching to a camera pointed at some of my cats to keep me company a little bit until the next run, which since we're way ahead of schedule right now.
No, it's better than the third quest. It is Cat Quest. Not the actual game Cat Quest. It is just cats.
But
It
I
is
think
now.
with that, we'll wrap up at least the Zelda part and get ready to move forward.
All right. Well, y'all, stay
Thank you again
tuned.
to everyone who donated, and Yunus, thank you so much for all the great commentary. Really appreciate it.
Y'all have been fantastic.
Nope.
So stay
Thanks for having
tuned.
me.
And yes, thank you, Yunus, for coming in and commentating. Thank you, Tetra, for the amazing Zelda runs, and also thank you in advance for your cats.